welcome to my YouTube channel and blog. Sorry if you heard that, that was my dog yawning. I'm going to use a stamp set today of Penny Black called Little Elf Ava and a Paper Rose Sentiment from the stamp set Poinsettia. So today I've got all the colours listed above. Today you're going to learn a couple of bits and pieces from me, hopefully, and it's a special card. It's a special card because I have a friend called Michelle Lupton, and she has a blog named Handmade by Michelle, and every year she challenges about 30 odd people, I think, to challenge her a Christmas card. So this could be anything really, product, theme, technique, anything. And we make a card and we share, and it's super cool. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what she has made. One of the first things you're going to see is that my challenge was black and white with a pop of colour. So everyone, I thought, is going to go red because it's a Christmas colour. So I saw this stamp set with the big star on it, and I thought that was really cool, and I could do that as something different. And so the girl I'm going to shade in, so I'm going over here a little bit, but it's black. It's hardly anything. You won't even probably know it's there. So what I've actually used is C7, C5, C3, and a C1. Not a C00, but I can't figure out how to erase that and change it without wiping the whole lot. So it's a C7. One of the first mistakes I've made is that I got a tiny little bit of yellow blopped out from underneath the star, and instead of waiting for it to dry a little bit, I went in with the Zero blender and tried to push it back too soon. And you see that, sorry, my dog is crying. You will see that I have to go over it a fair bit, and she's distracted me now. Go over a fair bit, so let it dry before you actually go in with a blender pen. The next little mistake you're going to see is I have a super juicy C1, if I remember correctly. It's brand new because I was finding my chow marker was always drying out, so I decided to splurge and get myself a new sketch one. And it was super juicy, and I've heard this happens, but I've never actually experienced, and thank goodness it's a C1 and not like a red or something a lot darker, so it's actually very easy to remove and hide and everything else. So right on the fluff in a little bit, it sort of vomits over my card basically. And what you have to do is, you'll see I'll remove both ends, caps on both ends, and it seems to equalize the pressure in the marker. Don't really know the ins and outs and how and why and everything else, but you just find that you just remove both ends of the markers and it just stops it. And it happened so quickly I didn't even see it sort of welling up or anything else before it dripped. And learn from my mistakes, because you will see that clearly I did not. So I've also put a little bit of the yellow, I think it was YR23, into the bells just to tie them in a little bit. And I didn't worry about shading or anything because they're super tiny, so it doesn't really matter. I think it's about to happen here. There we go. So I've blobbed it up with a little bit of a tissue first off and equalize the pressure. So I'm not going to start this all over again because I actually was liking how it was turning out. So I have this Icy Snow Paste by Cadence. I may be wrong, but I think it's a Turkish company. It is super cool. It's a little bit on the drier side, like it's brand new, so it's just that texture. So it would be really good through a stencil. And I'm going to fast forward this because you don't need me to see me fight with this thing. And then I've used a bit of glitter just to add a bit of sparkle, a bit of love to it. I've also decided, So this paste will be really, really good through a stencil, but it's a little bit harder to do what I was doing because it's not really normal. So I've clear embossed with from VersaFine with the sentiment just because I wanted it a little bit darker, and I just wanted to try and get it to jump off the page a little bit, so I've just gone around in C1. And have you noticed I put the cap on the other end, on the wedge end, and it's dripped. I think it's right there near her hand there, right there. So it's nothing too major, thank goodness, because it's a 1, as I said. It's not a red or something darker, but it's just something not to know that you just take the caps off both ends. And I think what I'll probably do is when I have a new marker, especially a dark one, I might do that before I do anything else. So you do have to be careful around the embossing with your Copic markers. I believe it's supposed to eat away or damage, destroy the tip of your markers. So I'm just sort of going around ever so carefully around the writing. But I really don't think with the amount that I did, it's not going to be any big deal. So in a minute, this is pretty much it. So I'm going to speed through and I'm going to put some of that gold that you just saw. I'm going to cut it down a little bit just so we can have a strip of gold on either side. Now I'm trying to streamline the videos a little bit because some people don't like longer videos. So let me know in the comments below whether you want to see more or what. And that's pretty much my card. So feel free to like and subscribe to my channel. All the details are down below. And click on the bell to get notified whenever I put a new video up. Pop over to Michelle's and thank you very much for your time. See you soon.